This is a pretty big, complicated set.
The thing about Pajama Game is that it's a musical. Musicals tend to be more involved than plays. And it's a musical from the 50s, which means that when it was on Broadway, they had a ton of different drops in units that they could pull in to do the different scenes.
So we'll go into the main part of the shop. This is Chris. He's working on an I-beam. The painters will be coming in soon, and at a distance, it'll look a lot like steel.
So most of the show takes place in the pajama factory, but there's a few things. They go to the park, they go to one of the workers' home, and you see her kitchen. So we tried to simplify it so that we wouldn't have to do these big, huge scene change units.
The process of building a set begins when the director and the designer discuss what their vision is. Of course, we're all telling a story on stage. We're just building the place that the story takes place in. The designer gives us working drawings that show all the measurements and the types of wood, and the technical director then flushes it out into this kind of a document, which is what we work from, called a plan view.
For this show, since we had a little bit shorter of a turnaround time, I actually designed the whole thing in my drafting program, and I kind of drafted it as I designed it. So then that way, every kind of rendering that I could show the team along the way, I know would be in scale and everything, which is kind of something that we focus on, so we can kind of get more of an idea of the space and how people will fit in the space once we actually get to building it.
The 5 pillars that will be on the stage will have a window in between each of the 5. These are the windows. Of course, they haven't been painted yet. They're used on many different shows and have reappeared in many productions.
We have certain measurements of walls and platforms, like 4 foot by 8 foot, that most theaters keep stored so they can use them over and over again. So I try to be conscious of, like, there's a walkway on the set that's like 3 stock platforms end to end, or the tall walls in the back are 2 stock flats stacked on top of each other and like 3 wide or something.
The build sort of takes as much time as we can get, because this stage, the Schneider Theater, is used for other productions, including the Continental Ballet and some other concerts and things. We're always building and then going, where can we put this until we really need to put it on stage? And that's a continuing, ongoing process.
Obviously, I would love for people to come see the show. I think it's nice to be able to talk about the tech side of everything, so I'm just excited to have the opportunity to do that.